Well, good day today, everybody. Now, this channel is called I Hate Lies and Liars. Now, why I am going to put this video up on this one is about I'll show you the title. It's in the Figaro, and it's called it's called I can't remember the word in English, but basically means they're going extinct. The cooling of the population of birds in the French countryside. Now, what it amounts to is, since the last 15 years, they have done some studies on the birds, the number of the birds. And they're talking about a 30% less, that's an English word, sorry about that. 30% less birds today in the French countryside. And this one is a type of quail. And this is his cousin. It's also the one the French have. They like hunting it. They're the cousins of the quail. And then the other ones are the birds that are living in the wheat fields, or in the petrol fields, or in the onion fields. You know, in the farmland for the animals. And the statistics. This graph. I don't know if you can see it very good. The graph actually shows that the birds that are dying out, and they're dying out drastically. It's not 30%. These birds, it looks like from the graph area that it's right at 50 to 60%. Now, here in France, we've had many arguments. The government has said that they were going to remove certain insecticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. Well, what they don't seem to understand is what I understood right off the bat when I lived in the countryside. The farmers are using, and I'm not going to say it's all Monsanto's, but Monsanto's is the one that holds most of the patents. And in fact, I'm going to tell you something that the French don't even know, and the Italians don't even know, because they're not dealing with the agriculture industry, which I have done dealing with the agriculture industry, is that we're growing OMG products here in Europe. In France, they're growing OMG wheat and corn. And in Italy, in the Piedmont area, they're growing OMG corn. And then it's all supposed to be exported. Where? Where are they going to export it? Well, they're exporting it back to America. In fact, I have a friend in the Piedmont area, a nice farm. He's got a big farm, man. He got 1,000 hectares. That's about 2,500 acres. And it's him, his son, and his father, his father-in-law. Sorry about that. And they have some big tractors, and I was with them for 3 months visiting them, and I enjoyed talking to them. We talked about a lot of things. Their OMG blé of corn, wheat and corn, or he grows it on a contract, and then it's sent to America. And I will tell you where a lot of that cornmeal goes to. It's exported out of America as cornmeal or flour. Sadly to say, some of these dimwits in Europe are not realizing that the corn comes back in as finished products. So, Monsanto's, I had a little small pepper farm, okay, 3,000 square meters a year ago, and I didn't use any insecticides. I used plastic and a hole, you know, taking it out. The plastic keeps the weeds from going around the plants. And where I walked in the aisles, the hallways of the greenhouse, I used a hole. And damn, pulled out a lot of plants by hand, okay? And it got to the point my pepper plants were so big and it didn't bother them having weeds. I just let the weeds grow also. It doesn't bother that much the pepper plants. Pepper plant is a weed, by the way, okay? Especially a Carolina Reaper, it is a pepper plant. So here we go back to the birds. Now, oh, by the way, I will tell you a little interesting thing about my greenhouse. I had the wind tore up the plastic several times, and I had to repair it. But trying to keep birds out of the greenhouse is like trying to keep a cat out of meat. Okay, they're gonna find a way in. And I had birds all over my place and butterflies, and people say, "Oh, they killed the butterfly." I said, "No, man, the butterfly ain't gonna bother me. If you eat your plant." So I got so many plants. I had 16,000 plants. It didn't bother me. You know, it's not. They're not gonna. I did have some problems, and I had to use an insecticide for one type of animal, which kills the plants. Okay, but if you do it correctly, you have to use it. There was an insecticide that I used. It was very powerful for this plant mite, and I used it, but it doesn't affect the plant afterwards. It kills it suffocates the mite. Is what it does. It's an oil. It's not really. I can't remember how we made it. I can't remember how I made it, but somebody showed me how to make it, and it was organic. It was a water oil thing, and you had to spray it on the plants, and you sprayed it on the plants and around the plants that were infected, and then the rest of the plants were never treated. Well, here the problem with the birds is it's insecticides, fertilizers. It's the whole industry. Now in the French areas, by the way, it's not like there is a problem with the bees. Okay, the bees are dying out, and it also has a problem with the insecticide, the fertilizers, and the herbicides. They're now waking up that the best way to farm, do a little work. Like in Sicily, most of the people I know down there doing farming, they're pulling the weeds out by hand with a hoe, or running a tractor through the greenhouse, and it knocks out their weeds. They cut them down. They do everything except wanting to use herbicides. Now a lot of people were using weed eater, and then the Monsanto's is the best one they ever sell. I can't remember the name at this moment. It's very well known, and the French want to get rid of it. So the Monsanto came back in with another name, and then they changed the name. It was they changed the name of the product, but then the French finally woke up and said it's got to come out of the industry. This was last year. Now they're talking about the birds. Now these birds are being killed by the farmers, and I'm not going to blame the farmers, because most of the farmers are not your little mom and pop operations. They are like, they're here in France particularly, they are like in America, many owning 10 or 20,000 or leasing or renting 10 or 20,000 acres, and they're multinationals. Okay, and they're poisoning the insecticide. Now you got your damn little bird. I have birds all over my house, and in fact I have all kind of birds that I feed every morning. I give them butter, and I give them cream, and I give them whatever I can give them, and they eat everything. But I'm living in a forest, and the forest hasn't been affected on depopulation. Actually, the forest, this graph even shows that the forest went up a few years in 2002 to 2017. It's now coming down a little bit. that's probably because those years were very good years for the forest infection, the bugs. Now when you're killing your bugs, and that's what they're doing in the farmland, and this whole thing it's already happened in England and Sweden and some of the other countries. The population has dropped. Why are they doing this? Because for money, and because the farmers, I'm not going to say the farmers are totally responsible, because they believe what they're doing is correct. They are brainwashed by the publicity and the propaganda of the fascist corporations, and that's who they are. They are brainwashing these people to make them think that using these products will make your productivity better. Well, my friend in Italy, by the way, he's using less and less products the last 5 years, chemical products on even the OMG products, and using older techniques like running down through there with a tractor and knocking out the weeds between the plants. He's saving money. He's using a little more diesel fuel, which is actually helping to populate the plants. So the whole thing is, we're being misled. Now they're crying because the birds are dying out in the farmlands. Well, I would start looking at what the farmlands are doing. And as we know, they're all using Monsanto products here in France, and OMG products. They're all over the place. The OMG plants. They're not really supposed to be cultivating them, but they found a way around it. Cultivate them here and send the products back to America. People, you got to think, we're being lied to all the time in this big industry. Have a good day.